What's up, everybody? Joe White here, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the overall scene in AEW right now. I did not. I gotta confess, I have not watched a full episode of any AEW programming in months. Um, Pretty much since I went to Revolution back in March, um, or it was April. I don't even remember it. That's how. I mean, I was there for Sting's retirement. I was actually there in the building, um, and I haven't watched really a full episode of AEW since then. And the rumors about Shane McMahon coming in and this person coming in, and then you got Danielson dragging out this retirement insanely too long. Now he's the champion, which to me is just so. For a company that should be focusing on making new stars, on making younger talent, on really, which is what they were all about at the start, which is why, you know, people said I was wrong. People said, "Oh, Joe, you're wrong. This guy doesn't, this is going to be great." And the bloom fell off the rose really quickly with this company. I mean, really quickly. But this is a company who is, it's no secret, has a complete snowman for a booker, has a guy who's completely unbalanced for a booker, for a guy who will not ever get out of his way and realize that his business is faltering because his booking is horrible. And he refuses to realize that he needs help. But maybe that help is coming in the form of Shane McMahon. Um, who knows? Maybe he is finally, he being Tony Khan, is finally realizing that he needs to shake things up. I don't know if bringing in Shane McMahon is the right way to do it. We all saw 2 years ago what happened when Shane McMahon was given complete control to do whatever he wanted when it came to that Royal Rumble match. That entire Royal Rumble pay per view, especially the Royal Rumble match 2 years ago, was absolute crap. And everybody knew then what the deal was. Everybody knew then that it was Shane McMahon. Shane's been a fan of the business going way back to the ECW days. I mean, it is said that he is the one that brought ECW to WWE's attention. When there were rumors that WWE was going to buy ECW, Shane McMahon was rumored to have been at the helm of that decision. Of course, that didn't happen, and then they would buy them out in bankruptcy court, yada, yada, yada. But nonetheless, Shane McMahon has always been there, been at the forefront of these new and wacky ideas. When there was rumors going around that they were going to buy UFC back in the day, and that Shane McMahon was going to run UFC. And of course, that never came to fruition. But it all culminates tonight when Moxley cut a promo on Darby Allin, and then as he was leaving, he went to Tony Schiavone and said, "I'm going to tell you something. We're going to go ahead and start it tonight. Start this idea now. It's going to be hard for you to wrap your mind around, but this is not your company anymore." Now, a lot of people are going to take that to mean that, oh, it's another one of these work shoot angles because Tony Schiavone does have a lot of pull in that company. Tony Schiavone is, I guess, what you would consider an executive producer for AEW in the sense that he does a lot of behind the scenes work. Um, he is the head of all the announcers, as far as who they report to, with the exception of maybe Excalibur, old sock face. But anyway, um, but Tony Schiavone has a lot of pull in that company. He has Tony Khan's ear, and everybody knows that because you know AEW can't get out of their own heads when it comes to catering to the smart mark audience. Now, granted, WWE does pitch a little inside baseball there during at times nowadays too, but not to that extent. Not to the extent of AEW. All of their crowd are dirt sheet reading. That you never mind. I won't go. They all read dirt sheets. They all have inside knowledge. There are no casual fans in AEW, and there's very, 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 very little casual fans in WWE. Uh, and then the people that do start watching casually quickly go on YouTube, type in WWE, and once they get past the barrage of WWE videos, they end up on videos like this one or from other people or from one of the British idiotic wrestling sites like What Culture and Cultaholic and all that. Or heaven forbid they stumble upon Meltzer. Ugh, man. So. Anyway, um, but in regards going back to Shane McMahon, do I think this is the right decision to bring him in if this is what this is alluding to? Now, as soon as Moxley said that line tonight, rumors started running rampant, and I'm recording this as Dynamite is still going on. I'm just reading this based off what I read online. I'm not watching Dynamite. And I probably won't watch Dynamite. Not when, I'll go back and watch Raw if I miss it because of my job. I'll go back and watch SmackDown if I miss it because of my job. I tend to go to bed very early and wake up very early. So, because the early bird beats the traffic. But in regards to Shane McMahon, I don't know if this is a good idea or not. Is he going to appear on camera and be dancing around and wearing his funky baseball jerseys with the funny sayings on the back? Who knows? But if he does show up, it's gonna be just like it does for everybody that debuts in AEW. They're gonna get a big boom in the ratings. They may hit 1 million again for this one, and then it's gonna go right back down into the toilet about 3 or 4 weeks later. So I don't know if this is a good thing if they bring him in or not. I will. It's going to be a I'll wait and see basis. It's going to pique my interest, and then as soon as I find out that well, he's there, it was good while it lasted. Just like the whole Young Bucks thing when they took over the company, and we quickly saw how that fell apart, and they still haven't paid that off yet. It's been stupid. The whole AEW story so far has been just stupidity after stupid idiot after stupid. It's just ugh. To see hell, I wish I had a fraction of that man's money so I could blow it senselessly, idiotically on a wrestling show. That's what this man's doing. And the WBD deal is not going to be what they thought it was going to be. They're not going to get what they asked for it. They're going to shout it from the rooftops as, oh, we've been signed for 5 more years. And yes, we're going to be making a little bit more than what we were, but it's not going to be what we asked for. But yeah, AEW, AEW, AEW. Neckbeards, you rejoice. So, Anyways, the fence is out, or the jury is out. Sorry, I'm tired. When it comes to Shane McMahon, do I think he needs to go there? I'll say this: maybe you give him some booking power. Maybe you give him a chance. Maybe Tony Khan goes, "Look, dude, I'm burnt out. It's been what 5 years? They started in 2019, so it's been almost 6 years." 5 years, 6 years, who knows? But Tony Khan is burnt out, and it's been showing the last year. You know, so maybe Tony Khan just needs to go away for a while, do nothing but say yes and write checks and sign checks. Don't even watch the programming. Don't even. Yeah, you want. I'm done with this for now. You want me to sit back and sign the checks? Fine. What do you need? A bazooka? Okay, I'll sign the check for the bazooka. I don't need to know what the bazooka is used for. I don't need to know who's using the bazooka. I don't even want to know where to send the bazooka or how to order the bazooka. I'll just say yes to the bazooka, and I will write the check, and in the memo section of the check I'll write bazooka. It's obvious that he needs help. There's a whole reason why in Memphis for all those years, Lawler would have the book for 6 months and then Jerry Jarrett would have the book for 6 months. It was to prevent re- repetitiveness, it was to prevent burnout, and it was to keep an audience and keep storylines fresh. And it worked for a lot of years. Anyway, folks, should Shane McMahon come to AEW? They had that meeting a while back. The meeting that somebody took a picture with on their stupid 2003 cell phone because the picture looked grainy as hell. So they have met. Is it going to be weird if this happens to see Shane McMahon, C.A. McMahon, on another wrestling program besides a WWE one? Yes. There'll be, again, like I said, there'll be that initial shock, that initial, oh my God, I can't believe it. And I'll probably buy into smoke a little joint of the hopium myself for a few weeks. But once you come down from that high and you've already eaten all the food in the house, it's just like, it's just like I told people back in the day, I have never smoked marijuana in my life. And the number one reason why people say they smoke marijuana when I was a kid, this is what I always heard when my friends who did smoke marijuana, I asked them, "Why do you do it?" And the number one answer I always got was, "Man, it just helps me forget about my problems." And I used to tell them, "Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute." And this is just like how WWE is going to, or AEW is going to be if they hire Shane McMahon. You smoke a joint, okay? You pay all that money for the marijuana, which nowadays in most states you can grow it yourself. But anyway, this is late 90s. You pay all that money for an ounce of grass, okay? You smoke it. You get about a good 2-3 hour buzz. Then you get the munchies and you eat all the food in your house. And then you go to sleep. And then you wake up and realize that you're out of that $20. You have no food in the house. And your problems are still there to smack you dead in the face. That's what I used to tell everybody and everybody used to look at me like, oh yeah, well, whatever, I'm still going to do it. It's like this, I have a problem booking. I'm burnt out with the booking. I'm going to go buy a joint, aka Shane McMahon. I'm going to go pay him a lot of money. He's going to come in We'll get a 3-week high. We'll eat through all the he's gonna eat through all the talent. And then when I get done with him, when he finally takes my money and runs and ends up leaving in 2 or 3 years, I'm gonna be broke. You're gonna have no creative food in the house. You're gonna be left with a pile of garbage, and your problems are gonna be right back to where they were, if not worse. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is Shane McMahon good for AEW? Should they bring him in to help out? Should Tony Khan hand Shane McMahon the book? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and we'll see you down the road.